Story time. When I was 9 years old, I was in a car crash, and it was a TBI, like a traumatic brain injury. It ruined my mother's legs, and she still walks with a limp, and it almost tore up my family. So, as a Christian, am I supposed to look at that and be like, God either let that happen or God caused that to happen? Because how are we supposed to know that God sees everything and knows everything and then lets these horrible things happen? What if I pray for a husband only for him to cheat on me and leave me one day? What does the concept of simple foreknowledge, or the Armenian debate of predestination and foreknowledge, what does that say, especially as Christians? And how can we love a God when we endure that kind of pain? Hi, my name's Cassian Bellino, and I'm confused about my faith. I think it's cool. I gave my life to it, but I'm going to be honest, when I open my Bible, I'm very confused. So what I do to solve this and to grow in my faith is sit down with scholars. This week, I sat down with Dr. Paul Eddy, and he responded to this question very clearly. This is what he said.
Evil is not ordained by God, but rather is a product of either human free wills, or Greg and I both believe we have to also consider angelic free wills, meaning Satan and the demonic. The difference between Greg and I on how we deal with the problem of evil. Greg could say, well, God didn't know your husband would cheat on you unless that day comes where he cheats on you. But I would say God, in a sense, saw that happening before, right? But here's the difference, and this is where I had to adjust my view from the past. I used to think, before this whole open theism challenged me, that when I said God could see the future, that he could also manipulate it based on what he saw.
Oh.
And I think a lot of people think that about God seeing the future. I now realize that wouldn't work. I don't think it would work. That's why my thick present, where God just sees everything happening at once in his time frame, that means he sees, in a sense, you getting married and your husband cheating all at once. So he couldn't have warned you about the cheating because it's all downloaded to God as a thick present moment.